hearts beat to the city streets. We began to feel the fire. We rise like tall buildings as the chemicals, they take us higher. The night's young, it has just begun, as she puts her hand in mine. We wanna chase the night, wanna dance to the light, pull the stars from the sky, just two hearts running wild. Never sleep, never stop, as we shout from the top. We're gonna be two hearts running wild. Now the morning is the afternoon. We lay awake in bed. The laughs so loud as the hours pass. We're gonna do it all again. We wanna chase the night, wanna dance to the light, pull the stars from the sky, just two hearts running wild. Never sleep, never stop, as we shout from the top. We're gonna be, we're gonna be two hearts running wild. The moonlight, the summer sky, it was the best we ever had. And we'll stay on forever. We'll never have regrets. We wanna chase the night, wanna dance to the light, pull the stars from the sky, just two hearts running wild. Never sleep, never stop, as we shout from the top. We're gonna be two hearts running wild. We're gonna be, we're gonna be two hearts running wild.
Hello. Hopefully we have audio. I genuinely do hope yes, we do. Great to see you. Awesome to see you guys. It's crazy. It's Podiversary Day. Wow. It seems to be like different messages. Some say it's the 30th of April, others say it's the 1st of May. It doesn't really matter. May 1st is easy to remember. But hey, Podiversary, that's crazy. We're here together. I did find a few things. Normally I just make a video and sometimes I squeeze in like a hidden giveaway in those videos. And I thought, today let's just we have to do something else. There's a few reasons for that. Of course, we have the issue with what is it called? The issue is that the shipping, the US tariff. So I can't send yarn to the US because else, some of my European yarn seems to be a good fancy grab, but nope. So instead we were talking about a good idea was to gift patterns and memory instead. So that's what we are going to have into. But until then, we will first be saying hello to everybody. And indeed, hey Jay, great to see you. And thank you so much for your congratulations. I am so happy for those. I can't believe it's been 4 years. Party time, indeed. Good morning, Rev. Good morning. Good morning, Susan. Thank you for the happy anniversary. I know that my mom is likely going to come around as well later, which I'm really looking forward to. Jay says, life has been really busy lately, but I've been listening to your replays when I crochet. Well, I am pleased to be able to yinkle yangle along and give you some company while you crochet, even though that life has been busy. But I'm happy to hear life hasn't been that busy, that you do have time to at least crochet a bit. Like for me, March was really rough and I did not crochet much in March. So yeah, that was a rough month, but I'm happy to kind of be active and back. Jay says she was very productive this week. She spring cleaned her entire house, finished a circular blanket and an asymmetrical shawl, and she's currently working on finishing a baby sweater for a friend. Wow, that's productive. I'm nope, not there. I did do 2 bucket hats. And of course, I don't even have them here down there, but I did finish the bucket hat we were working on Friday. I finished that Wednesday evening, so that's great. But there will be a summary of the Decrease Mustache videos up this weekend, and you can see both of those in there. So it's just a short video that's going to get up on how my stash decreased for the month of April. Susan is going to start the Expression Fiber Arts Alactona shawl with a Stanley cotton cake in greens, a 4mm hook. Interesting. Meanwhile, we have to party because Rev just gifted away a membership to the channel, and Jay was the lucky recipient. So I always love when gifters membership, when they do get gifted, that they also physically go to one that's live at the same time, because indeed we have here the opportunity to say thank you, and I see that Jay already thanked Rev for it, and we do of course need to party on that behalf, because partying for memberships we always do. Thank you so much for gifting a Jay a membership for this month. You may also have spotted back here, we have the Danish flag, because I don't have a Dutch one. And I am Danish. Technically, I'm both, but I'm more Danish than I'm Dutch. Genetically, I'm definitely Danish. Born and bred and raised in Denmark. And of course, the Danish flag has to be raised for a party day. And then we have my 2 ammigurumis. One which is the reason I got back into crochet, and the other one is the one I made to see if it's pattern or if I really improve and stuff like that. Let's just like grab them for a second, yeah? Shall we? I'm not really sure what they are named, but it's kind of like the ugly duckling concept. I don't think necessarily that they're looking amazing. The first one I made that really got me back into crochet was this one, which is actually absolutely horrendous. Look at all the mistakes you can see here and there, but also part of it is the yarn. It was a really cheap acrylic yarn. I got it as a pack. I think I paid like €3 or €4 or something like that to make this. It was like a pack including yarn, a cheap crochet hook made of plastic, as well as the filling and the instructions. And Stina had no clue what was what and so on. And you know, the instructions wasn't in Danish either, so I had to go like through and figure out stuff. And that was back in March 2022, and I had probably not crocheted for 20 years or close. So that's how I got back into it. And well, it's gotten to be the ugly chicken. I don't know what he or she's named. It's even so bad that it has a little hole here, because somehow I don't know what happened with this pattern. Probably I made a bunch of mistakes. So what happened was, of course, I decided it's time to see if I improved. So during the Podiversary last year, I crocheted a new chicken. And I did that with a different yarn. So I did that in an 8/8 cotton yarn, following the same pattern. And that resulted in a less ugly chicken, but still not the prettiest chicken. But it has no hole down here at least, so that improved. But still not really sure what happened. So this is in 100% cotton, and then it's just a polyester filling. And if we compare the two, we definitely improved, but I also have a feeling it's a pattern because I'm not really sold on it. It's okay. Um, it's okay, yeah. But I'm thinking, since there's 3 years between these two, that in 2028 I'm going to make a new one, but in chenille yarns, to see if it's the yarn. And then also, meanwhile, my skills improved. And if I conclude by then that definitely it's still as funky and dunky, it's likely the pattern. I don't know. But yet they kind of look the same, and yet you can definitely see an improvement, and yet I still have a feeling it's the pattern. Get my point? So I have them and I keep them as a little reminder of me and my crochet journey. And therefore, I thought that they really deserve to be a part of this life, right? So that's kind of how and where we are at. I do, of course, have tea. Here we have my Nijmegen. It's a local tea, Blandoos tea, great tea, wonderful taste. It's very warm because I really just made it as I like throughout the stream. We're going to go live, and everything was a little bit stressy because I guess I was a bit busy with work. And then, of course, I do have like just a glass of lemonade next to me because until my tea cools down, I need something else to drink. Yeah, that's been nuts. April, but also just the past 4 years. I've done lots of shawls. The intro for the Podiversary video kind of shows a big quick sneak peek of a bunch of projects I've made. I should probably have worn something, but I don't. Well, it's just on the edge where maybe not shawls. Rev says I was trying to get one more skein finished yesterday, but I ended up being out of the whole morning, so I ended up at 19 skeins used last month. That's still great. I don't make 19. I didn't make 19 last month. Rev says he likes the funky chicken. It is a funky chicken. I'm just curious if I'd like it even more, or if it improves even more in chenille. But I think that's going to be in that 2 years time frame, right? That's my thinking. That is my thinking. What I do have here today is we have 4 options to work with. We have the option to go through my shawl, my water pearl shawl. I need to look at patterns. I'm not sure if it's the best idea for a live, and it's kind of like I've been postponing it a bit. I haven't touched it in April at all either. Another option, of course, is the hat collectors. That is right here next to me. Then I have the bag, and in that bag we have for casting on a rib knit beanie. I can cast on a rib knit beanie, and we also have the yarns for the ammigurimi octopus thingy jellyfish, which I wanted to make for my neighbors for when she has given birth to her daughter, which is like coming month. Hey, Amanda! Amanda says, happy Podiversary. Thank you, Amanda. And she says, you need to find a really thin chenille yarn or you'll have a huge chicken. That's also very valid. So I'm not really sure where we are heading, but I could option maybe for a thin chenille yarn somewhere. I'll see. It is possible. Like, you could do like... Go Handmade has some really thin velvet yarns. That could maybe work. Rev says, nah, go big or go home. True. Amanda, it's great to see you. It's been a while. I noticed you've been live a few times. I have not had the chance to catch you, unfortunately. Number 7 yarn, make a chicksilla. Also a possibility. So we do have definitely people around here, and also I think that we have Nightbot in the room, and you know what, it's sunshine. It is freaking gorgeous weather outside. So I'm just gonna share that with you guys here. Another good thing is that we have Nightbot with us is because we need Nightbot to help with the draws, right? The weather for Nijmegen is the sunny conditions. definitely sunny outside. Temperature of 73 degrees Fahrenheit, so that's 23 degrees Celsius. The wind is blowing south southeast at 15 miles per hour, and the current humidity is 21. So it is a little bit windy outside. The wind is a little bit chilly, so in that sense, it doesn't feel as warm as the temperature says. Also, what's worth to keep in mind is that this weekend we are getting thunder showers. They are coming, they say. Kind of also good because the last 2 weeks has been dry. My flowers and garden need a bit of rain. And I guess nature in general. So that's cool. Also, we have wildfires right now in some areas of the Netherlands. And right now, I guess they're researching into if it was due to military exercises or if it's just spontaneously and why they're happening. The wildfires apparently in the Netherlands here is now so big that we are apparently also getting help from abroad to put them out. So that is not so cool. The weather for Vaca right now is rainy with a temperature of 57 degrees Fahrenheit, about 14 degrees Celsius. Wind is blowing from north-northeast at 8 miles per hour, and the humidity is 95. Definitely sounds rainy, yes. In New Jersey, it's sunny, just like here, with a temperature of 47 degrees Fahrenheit, 8 degrees Celsius. The wind is blowing from northwest at 7 miles per hour, 11 kilometers, and the humidity is 75. So that is wonderful, great. And we are going to see what is in Enköping in Sweden with Amanda's place. And it is also great weather. It's sunny with a temperature of 71 degrees Fahrenheit, 22 degrees Celsius. Wind is blowing from southwest at 14 miles per hour, and the current humidity is 31. Amanda, you should think we were kind of like neighbors right now. We know that I know there is a solid, 1,500 kilometers or something like that between us. Like, it feels like you're just next door right now with the temperatures and the weather. That is nuts. Let's just for fun see how far it would be for me to go to Enköping if I would take not the train. Take the car. If I would drive to Amanda right now, assuming roadworks and all the shizzle, it would be 16 hours or 1,398 kilometers. So that was pretty close to 1,500. Yet it feels like we are definitely next door with our weather. I wish we were closer though. That could be so nice. Could hang out and like drink tea and coffee and craft together. Anyhow, we need to figure out what to do. And as I said, we instead of doing giveaways in shape of yarns, this year we are gifting away some patterns on Ravelry. Apparently, I've been told by Lisa, once Lisa gets in here, that I should be able to gift patterns on Ravelry to persons users if they are on their wish list. So we are going to have to try that. And in worst case, I guess I'll have to purchase it and send it. We'll figure that out. Summer road trip. I'd love to. Just it's a bit expensive for us now, right now, I guess, but I wouldn't mind at all. I also have a friend who is looking to buy a house, or maybe she did buy one in Gefle. I think it's called Gevla. And that's kind of up that direction as well. Without like putting them completely next to one another, but Gefle is further north though, but you know, it's Stockholm and a bit north. Yeah, Gefle, exactly. So she's heading up there, but I'm actually seeing her in 3 weeks' time. She's coming to Belgium, and I bet she will have some sort of knitting project or crochet project with her, if I know her correct. Though we are there for a competition, a shooting event instead. But I'll see her, and that's going to be nice. And she also kind of invited me and my partner to come and say hello at some stage. So who knows? Maybe at some stage, if we end up getting up there, then and shipping is like if it's either or, like if you're all the way up there, what does it matter? But if that's going to be this summer, I don't know. It kind of also depends on everything, right? Because the world is crazy with the gasoline and everything right now. It's nuts. It is nuts to do. So, giveaway. We can run giveaway different versions, active chatters, keywords, or a random number. So we'll figure that out also. But yeah, what are we to work on today? We are either going to find a jellyfish pattern. I have been looking at the pattern I found, and I'm thinking it might be too small. Like, do I feel it's gonna be big enough? I don't feel it has that many rows, and then I feel it's like tiny for a kid. I don't know. But as I'm going to make it in cotton, oh, maybe it's not that bad. Maybe it's not that bad. Amanda, I noticed you did make a jellyfish, gobble, whatever we should call it, on your stream. And I was curious of the pattern you used, although it's made in chenille. Is that the same as the baby jellyfish on Hobbies, that the free one, or is it a different pattern? Because I've like been scouring Ravelry, and I'm like, oh, there's some nice patterns there too that I could option go for. Good morning. Mama knows best I can. Gwen. Gwen is around here, and thank you so much for your congratulations wishes on my 4 years. Amanda made 2 jellyfishes recently. Yes, I saw. So, to be clarifying, I did bring the yarn for the jellyfishes. It's in my little bag, and I'm just going to try to see if I can get it out without too much issue. I also have a little bit of filling. I'm just putting that over there because I don't need that right now. I do have some thinner thread because I wanted to embroider the eyes on, because it's for baby, you know. They put everything in their mouth. So I have cotton for embroidering in a thinner cotton 8/4, and then I have some leftovers in this yarn. Oop. And this is Paris from Drops, and I was thinking of using this one because it's baby girl, so it's perfect colors. And I could use these for tentacles, kind of like to give different colors. So that's kind of what we're looking at. That's an option to work with. I just need to figure out what. I don't have more than that. So it can't take too much on either, but I also don't want to make like a tiny one, right? So I'm trying to figure out what pattern I should use. And of course we have the triple stranded beanie that I need to cast on sometime, but I can do that this weekend too. Rev says, please don't forget to like the stream, and if you're not subscribing, it is free and it will make Stina smile, so you do all the things. Exactly, it will make me smile if you do subscribe to the channel as well. You can't really chat and participate in the giveaway without being subscribed to my channel, so just saying, you probably should be subscribed if you want to win a free pattern from Ravelry. And the patterns you can win is pretty much more or less free of choice, as long as it is within a reasonable price. So you just need to have a wish list on Ravelry. I should be able to gift you a pattern from that wish list. It's early here in Arkansas. I'm not awake enough to catch you. I'm glad I could give you some support on your Podiversary. Thank you. I know it's very early in the States. I'm going to be here for another probably 2.5 hours. Maybe a little bit shorter than my usual, because I do have a bunch of things I need to sort as well later. But I am going to be trying my darnest best. So yeah, that is kind of what I'm thinking at. I really need to get started on the jellyfishes. I can continue on my heart collectors, which is doing great, by the way. It is here and it's still doing awesome. Oh my goodness. It is just a mess of yarn though. Oh, that was the wrong side. We need to turn it like this to get the right side showing. But we are working. But we are not even close to finished. We are just at the very early baby steps. And my yarn is tangling. So I'm just trying to detangle this yarn a little bit. So that is an option. So either we'll crochet on the heart collectors, or we'll probably start a jellyfish. I think that's likely the most optional thing. How many tickles does it take to make a jellyfish laugh? 10 tickles. Could be, could be, could be. Definitely could be. So I'm just trying to figure out, because if I'm looking at the stitches, it has 5 rows. 5 rows. Fasten off, no need to leave long yarn tail. And then we do tentacles, and they get made loose and get attached afterwards. Oh, because this is the head, that's different. So that's the base of the jellyfish. Ah, well, maybe it's not that bad after all, because the other one is 8 row, the top. Do not fasten off, you will be attaching the head to the base and crocheting one more round of frills around the jellyfish. For now, insert 8mm safety ties between row 9 and 10. Okay. But that's a lot of frickle work, though. Yeesh. Choo, choo, choo. That's a good question. If we can, but it's more rows than I thought it was, so that's a good thing. But I'm trying to read assembling using a tapestry needle and the yarns. Well, actually, guess what? We'll pop over because it's a free pattern, so I have no issues sharing it. I would, in any case, recommend you to grab that from Hobbii's site if we are gonna do this. I am not using these eyes. I'd need to crochet my own to put on, but that's another story. So assembling using tapestry needle and the yarn from the tentacles. So each of them on one by one to the right side of the base. Make sure that the yarn tails ends are pulled through the base. Take the base and match it to the bottom of the head. Tentacles pointing outwards, of course. Aha. So basically they'll kind of like closed up like that, I guess. And then make yarn knots on the other side. Continue with the unfasten off. And then you can like make tentacles around, fasten on even ends. You have end result. Yeah, that could be an option. It doesn't seem too difficult. It doesn't seem too difficult. The real question is if I have enough yarn, of course. Yay. Amanda sent me a message. So she may give me suggestions on patterns or let me see what the options here are. I like. I also looked on Ravelry, to be honest. And I think I saved one of them. Thank you, Amanda. The challenge, of course, is I'm making it in a different yarn. But the first free one seems like a lot of sewing. Favorites, I think. I spotted the Nikki the Niku jellyfish on Ravelry, so let me pop over there. Here. That was also an option, like, but it's a free version is also available. Visit the website. So that's just one with ads on, I bet. But I kind of like this one, actually. I think it's cute. And it got sewn on embroidered eyes. Like, me like. Da, 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 da. And now we're talking about how and what, but I just like it. So let's just try to read. Cotton size 4 worsted weight yarn, the softer the better. I definitely have that. 3.5mm hook. I don't need embroidered floss, blah, blah, blah. I do have some smaller ones. Needle, stitch markers, scissors. Finished size, but I think it's a 3 weight yarn and not a 4 weight, but that's got to be a little bit smaller then. I just question this if I have enough yarn. We'll find out. Let's read through this because that is an option too. Crochet designs. Slips, notes, work and continuous rounds using stitch markers, blah, blah, blah. I like this. I think this is where we are heading. Magic ring, blah, blah, blah. Let's just read through. Leave a long tail. Maybe I don't have enough yarn. I don't know. How much if 56 inches? How much is that? How much is that? I don't know. I've probably like 25 meters here. That's why I'm asking. How much is 56 inches in centimeters? Inches to centimeters. We'll Google that. Inches to centimeters because 56, that's like 2 point some odd meters. Oh, 1.5. Okay, cool. Not that one. Not that one. That one. Embroider on with yarn needle. Off row, blah, blah, blah. And that's before filling, so that's easy and nice. I kind of like that. And top of the head, you don't necessarily, I guess, need to do decoration up there, personally, I think. Bottom, but it is a lot of stitches. I'm in doubt if I'll have enough yarn for this one. I'm not positive I have enough yarn for this one. Because that is a lot of stitches, my friends. Like 45 stitches around. It is single crochet still. And here it's also like 40 some odd stitches, right? I don't know. I don't think I have enough yarn here. But it's kind of the same concept to pull them up and through and then sew them together, which is kind of, I guess, okay. But I don't think I will have enough. Yeah, I don't think I'll have enough yarn for that. But I do like it. Choices, choices. Gwen says, I lost my tool and box of safety ties. I have 3 octopus waiting to see. Oh my, that's a sad thing. Rev made a jellyfish last year in a burnout blanket yarn. Let's go give it a look-see. A huge jellyfish is the end result, right? I think you've shown us this one before, if I remember right. I recall it. Big fella, big fella. But yeah, I'm just genuinely like, will I have enough yarn here? So the thing is, of course, I will do it differently in the bottom. And she uses also a different yarn there. So that could potentially work. The question is, do I dare try and then figure out I have not have enough? Because her bottom is in a different color. So I could potentially have enough. And then I think I'm actually going to go with Nikki. Nikki the Nisu. Niku. Octo. Should I need, like, do I need to take a weight scale? So yeah, that's kind of where we are at. I think we could try. We can try. So the thing is, let's pop back and then see if I can explain. I've been looking, and the top here is the blue, and we have tentacles in blue and purple. I have 3 colors, right? Like I have the light, the medium, where I have very little, and then I have the dark. And the top is in one color, and then if we go down here, that's a bottom, and that's a different color on this one, but also here it's in a purple one. So, you know, I could use this for the top, and then I could use the dark one for the bottom, and I can still mix them, all of them, for the tentacles. And what I really like with these tentacles is the different colors that they have. It's just, chain 55 sounds like a lot, though. Well, it should be possible, especially if it's just chains. So the real question is if we have enough. But, I think it might work. But yeah, it's 17 rows. It's a lot. And then I don't think we have enough. Should have probably start with a full skein. Nah, crying out loud. Choices. What are we doing? I don't know. Or we start on it, and if we conclude that we'll run out of yarn, it's simple, then I'll have to frock it, which would be a shame, but memberships are now available. Yeah. Rev says, I was using a 5.5mm hook, so that is super tight on the stitches. Use a smaller hook that saves you from running out of yarn. Or make a striped body. Also possible. I don't know. Will I have enough? Maybe it's not so bad. I don't have more than this. That's the issue. I kind of just wanted to use up these scraps because that would be kind of cool. And it's about half a skein. Maybe a bit less than half a skein. 20 grams? That's kind of my iffy point. And that's where I'm kind of leaning back towards the Baby Jellyfish from Hobbii, because there I definitely should have enough yarn. Amanda has done a scrapped jellyfish, all mixed up colors of a funsy. And Rose says it's only 42 stitches, should probably be okay. Yeah, it's 42 stitches, but for X rows, that's the thing. It's not just, It's 10 rows of 42 stitches, and you increase until you get there. That's my concern. But it is single crochet, so that does help a bit. It's not eating as much yarn as half doubles or doubles. Indeed, it's smaller than a hat, and I need 2.5 skeins for a hat. So it's just like a tiny bit of a hat. But that is also with half doubles. Smaller hook. Yes, I get that. We definitely do need a smaller hook. I think we're gonna try. And guess what? In worst case, honestly, we are at a point where I'm tired of these labels, so I'm gonna pull off the labels now. My point is, they all work. I can easily use this as a bottom. We are gonna give it a try. Yes, we are gonna give this a try. Smaller hook. I think I've done this in a 3mm before, when I did chicken back there. So probably the 3mm is a good guess. Not a 4, a 3. I need stitch markers. probably need a darning needle and a scissor at some stage. Yeah. Yeah, you know, if it's gonna be a row short or whatever, it's gonna be, will probably be fine too. But I think we need to try something first because we're kind of celebrating my Podiversary as well. Amanda says, I think the yarn needed the curly tentacles, but there was also some more straight ones, so do the body first. I agree, and I have the other yarns here for tentacles as well, so that's cool. That's cool. I'm gonna give it a go, and hopefully we're not too much short. And if in the worst case we are 1 or 2 rows short, it's just gonna be a bit stumped. It'll be fine. Awesome. Let's see. I need to do a few things here. But what I thought we really should do, because we are partying, right? We should probably see if we could attempt to run the first of my giveaways, which we could do as a keyword. And let's see. As I said, the keyword basically bases on, whoops. Show advanced settings done, blah, blah, blah. Let's see if this is working. We are gonna see if I can do this, because I should be able to find people's uses on Ravelry, and then from there be able to give them patterns on Ravelry. So here I can allow participants. We have 6 eligible users apparently. No, that's not like keyword thing. How can we do this? Giveaways. Random number, chatter. Oh. I am surprised. Good. We have kicked it off, hopefully. That means that if everything is good, we should be able to use the keyword Ravelry, and that should enter you in the draw from Nightbot. I just was so kind to spell it for you in the chat. And hopefully it should give us some options if Nightbot runs this correct. So yes, I see. We have participants in here. Awesome. We are popping in. We are popping in. Awesome, awesome, awesome. Anyhow, enter the keyword Ravelry if you are interested in snatching up a pattern from Ravelry. I will then purchase a pattern for you from your wish list. And you just let me know what you want, and we'll figure that out. As long as it's reasonable, don't come with a pattern that's 50 euros or something like that, because that's not happening. But a pattern somewhere between, I don't know, 2 to 10 euros is probably fine. Coolio. I'm just gonna let the Ravelry run for a little bit just to see if there are more that's interested in joining and grabbing a prize. And in case not, you know, it's gonna be much bigger chance for you guys to win. So, and let me see here. Use a stitch marker, make a magic ring, 6 single crochets into it, pull it tight. Well, that's easy. That I can do. I'm just meanwhile looking here. So I'm just checking if we have more that's willing to join, and meanwhile I should see if we can pop us down to the dual view here, and we'll pop down to. That is another thing I'd really like to get done is I'd like a poll that can give you my view rather than you get this opposite view. Now it just feels like you're sitting opposed to me and you get to do coffee, I guess. Anyhow, we are gonna try with this and see if we can make the whole body, and maybe the tentacles will be a different color, but that's fine. That is my least of concerns. We are attempting with a 3mm hook here. It is in a 100% cotton. Kind of intentional also. Let's see here. And we need to do according to the pattern. Oh, this is like, it almost feels like this hook is too tiny because this yarn want to split on this hook. I may go crazy. Who would have thought that I would have said chenille yarns is much nicer to work in? But in this case, I genuinely feel that I am going to be. Why didn't I grab the chenilles? And I would use chenilles if I would add safety eyes, but we are not, because it's going to a baby and baby puts everything in their mouth and I don't want to have it on my knowledge if for some reason that goes wrong. Like, no, please. But yeah, Ravelry. No more? No, and nobody else keen? Because then I'm going to say, I'm gonna do this row. We just did sort of the first row and we pulled it semi-tight. I need to close it. And we do row number 2. And that should be 2 in each. Oh my goodness. A 3mm hook in this yarn is tight. If that makes sense. That's the wrong one. No, that is right, John. This is tight. This is tight. Very tight. Okay, so we'll need to do 2 single crochets in each stitch. So that's 12 single crochets. In 12 single crochets time, once I'm done fiddling here, I will press draw a winner. And then we will see. So if you do have a Ravelry wish list, do not forget to update it, because I will need to know your Ravelry wish list so I can find your wish list, so I can purchase you a pattern from your wish list. I hope you have things you'd like to try out that you just have put on your wish list because you're like, yeah, you know, I'd like to at some stage, but I haven't had the time yet, or not the right time for the investment, or yeah, you know, many reasons. This is fiddly with a 3mm. I almost feel like I should hook up. But we'll be fine. We'll be fine. I just need to be patient. Because indeed, since we are hooked down, then maybe I'll have plenty of yarn that I'm totally not having issues. And if I'm correct here, I should just have 2 stitches left, because that one over there should be the slip stitch. Goody goody. So, if I did correct, we should have 12 around. Yay! 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, 12. We do. A 3mm hook, friends. Come on. Like, that would be okay if it was like a tiny, tiny yarn, but this really is wanting to split. So let's pop into the Fandy Dandy. Let's see. Not this one, not this one. This one. Yay. We are going to attempt drawing a winner from the giveaway. If you have entered a Ravelry, you are in the giveaway to win one of your patterns on your wish list. Hey, Susan, take care. I'll see you later. Yes, quickly enter. Yeah, let's see. Choose a winner. We have 4 legible entries, so we are gonna choose a winner right now. Ta-da! We have a winner. And Jay won a pattern to Ravelry today. Cat food run. Oh, Kitty definitely needs food. So Jay, I need to know your user on Ravelry so I can find you, and then I'm going to have a look at your wish list and I'm gonna gift you a pattern. So hallelujah. You know what I really like about this type of giveaway is that I'm also supporting an artist. Like, we are having fun together, but I also get to support an artist. So Jay, I need to know your Ravelry username ish thingy, and then I will find your wish list, and then I can go ahead and gift it, or faves, or something along those lines. Yep. Is it possible to link the wish list here? That's the issue, because Jay is not a moderator, but I could make her temp moderator so she could link me the wish list. Or Jay, you can also send me an email with the link to your wish list. That works too. Just let me know what you want. Yeah, that would be great. If you could email it to my Gmail, I'll just pop it into the chat, but it should also be on my contact page. If you just let me know when it's sent, then I will be able to pop in and have a look at it. But yeah, so I'll happily get your wish list and we will have a good look at it. Crazy. And it's, by the way, including the dot in the middle. A lot of people get that wrong, and then I don't get mail. So we'll pop back down. Ta-ta. And we are going to start on row 2 on Niku, the jellyfish. And we are gonna increase to 18. So we're first doing 1 single crochet and then 2 single crochets. Okie dokie. As I said, it is fiddle work, this. My goodness. Where did I get this idea from? Because my neighbors is getting a baby. She's due next month or this month because we're already in May. But I don't know when in May she's due. And I thought, you know, making a little gift is nice. So here we are. Looking at what I had in my scraps, and maybe we won't finish this one today, but that's okay. It's not important. I have time this weekend then. Blue. And I don't need to I do need to weave in a bit of it, but you know, like not as crazy because I can stuff it into the stuffing. Me like. And we need a 2 here. I once did a couple of cows in 4/8. That was tiny. I don't mind working with a small crochet hook. I just don't like it with the thick yarn like this, and it's not chenille. But it's okay. It's temporary. It's done quickly soon. Row 3 done, complete. Awesome. Meanwhile, it's time for Amanda to run for today. Have fun. Thank you, Amanda. Take care. Thank you for being around and hanging out shortly. I very much appreciate it. And I wish you an absolutely wonderful day. And Jay, do let me know when you have emailed it to me. So she says she thinks she sent it. I just need to see here. 2 stitches and then 2 single crochets. Easy. I just need to, I guess, kickstart the row because then I can throw in a stitch marker. And I wonder if I should just do the first of those repeats here. So 1, 2 stitches and then 2 singles. So far, I think I have more than plenty of enough yarn, but we'll see. We will see. Good. I got mail. Yeah. Jay says it's my favorite list. I'm still new to Ravelry, so let me know if I did it wrong. Yeah, well, I'm new to the gifting on Ravelry, and if you did it wrong, I'm sure we'll figure it out regardless. There is a bunch of options here. Ooh. Oh my goodness, I cannot choose. I have to see how that. Maybe I don't know if it's that simple. If it's just let's see if I can flip it over to the screen here. So here we have a Jay's wish list, and I think there's lots of options here. That is awesome. We have the gratitude blanket, lovely leaves blanket, travel in time. I think is this a shawl or is it our table runner? I can't figure out just by the photo. We have the Orenburg snowflake shawl here. We have the Orenburg chestnut shawl. We have the Darova filet shawl. That's gorgeous. The Sempervirum shawl. That's Definitely gorgeous. I would be keen to try this one out at some stage. Falling leaves, scarf and shawl, skeeter shirt, and the elbow shawl. I like this one. Like, really? I'm popping over just to... Oh, see here, send us gift. Ta-ta, it's possible. But I am definitely going to put this one into my favorites because, my goodness, it's gorgeous. That is gorgeous. I also like this one, Dora Filet Shawl. Let's pop in and see here. She has multiple ebook patterns as well. This is gorgeous. Wow. Oh, wow. That is lots of work, my friend. It's also like a full cake. That's big. That is big. I'm just looking because I'm like, I feel finding the right option, so to say, is important. Elbows also. Ooh. Oh, have you seen the leafiness of this? It's a fingering weight. They suggested sock yarns. You can do them in different kinds. It's knit. It's knitting. It's not crochet. You do both. That's why it doesn't take as much yarn, of course, because this is knit. Jay does both. Rose says it's cool, can also use as a backdrop on the pic. Oh, definitely. I have no canals. Well, I could do a river for a backdrop. I'll just have to bike all the way to the river and like bring a tripod with me and stuff like that. I could probably do that, but then I definitely won't have time to stream as much. Choices, my friends. This is gorgeous too. But this is also knit, the falling leaves and scarf. Definitely knit. Oh, wow. It's a different design. I was just looking at multiple discounts. That's nice. That's asymmetrical with the leaves pattern on the side. This is for advanced people, not for me. But it's gorgeous. I really think you have some nice patterns. Skeeter skirt. That's a French designer because, oh, a Swiss because I see it's in Swiss franc. A skirt. I wouldn't knit a skirt. I think I'm good with sweaters and so on, but I'm not sure if a skirt would work. We also have the Orenburg chestnut shawl. It's also knit. Most of these are knit, and then you have a few crochet ones. The benefit of this one, it doesn't take much yarn, huh? Because it's like 375 meters of light fingering weight yarn. It's nice though. The Orenburg snowflake. Ooh, this is filet. Jay, you must have insane patience. Well, it's saying the girl who's doing a 3,000-meter shawl in the heart collectors. But yeah, wow. I'm not sure if I could knit with these, like, because the needle size is insanely thin. The patience for this, oh my goodness. It's gorgeous though. But it's no longer available online, so this, unfortunately, I cannot buy for you. Then what is this exactly? It is a scarf. It's also knit. It's also not longer available. Oh my goodness, that is a shame. Lovely leaves a blanket. That has to be crochet. Yep, it's crochet. It's by a Swedish designer, Johanna Lindahl. That's actually quite nice. Comes in many languages even. Wow. It's a nice blanket. And the last one up here is the gratitude blanket. Also crochet. Also nice. Do you have any preferences? Like, or am I just gonna take a roll, pick a random number between, well, obviously, since 2 of them are no longer to be purchased, we have 8 left. So I could do like a random number picker, and we'll pick like, then we'll pick a random number between 1 and 8, and we'll pick one of those. Or do you have like a preference, like one that you think, oh, I'd really like to get started on that, I just haven't gotten around buying the pattern yet? Jay says she's excited for the wall, so pick away. And she says, yes, but it's worth it. That's true. The patience is worth it often. That is why I'm trying to be, but when it gets really thin, I'm not always too patient, I guess, because it gets too finicky. Like, I'm very impressed about those who crochet like those tiny ornaments for earrings and so on. I'm like, nope, 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 that's not gonna happen. Let's see. So we are gonna do random number picker generator. Yes. The random number service. Allow random org. Okay, hopefully this works. So that means that we'll pop over to the shopping view again. We have this lovely view. And if we go back to Jay's wish list here, we have, I'm gonna just be simple and say number 1, 2, and since these 2 are no longer to be bought, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, and 8. Then we'll have the random org here, true random number generator, minimum number 1, maximum number 8. And we're going to hit generate, and then we're going to count. And I'm going to attempt to gift that particular pattern to Jay. And it says number 5. So that is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Oh my goodness, it should have known that I like the Sempervirem shawl. So what we're going to do now is I am going to see if I can send this as a gift. Recipient Ravelry name. I need to probably, because I don't need to gift it to myself. Well, I wouldn't mind. But this is Sarah J. So if this goes right, I'm copying and we pop in here and we'll send it as a gift. And we should be able to do this. And I will attempt getting paid for this. I'm not going to do this on the screen because, my friends, that will not do. That is too personal with my information. Goody. Preview your gift. Yeah. And buying this for Sarah22J, if I've done well, because that was the name on your wish list. So we'll buy this, and it's leaving me to the checkout page. Not yet, quite yet. Because right now PayPal needs to think. Continue. One more step. Be happy. Complete. And we are now waiting for the payment confirmation. So hopefully, ta-ta! There you go. I sent you a pattern. So hopefully you should have received that. Oh, sweet! That is awesome. And we just supported Andrea as well, who is the designer of this. Oh, I really like that. My goodness. And it is crochet, so that's kind of, it fits into everything. Awesome. I like also the fact that we are now able to just send it instantly. Lisa! Hey, good morning, Lisa. Great to see you. We started on the Octo, but I found a different pattern. And now we are hoping I have enough yarn. We don't know yet. This one. So we go back and we'll craft a bit more, and then we'll probably do another giveaway again later, like in an hour-ish or so, I think. So yeah, we are working in this yarn. I am making Nikki the Niku Jellyfish. It is both a paid and a free pattern. You can find it on Ravelry. And there is also a link to the free version on her blog on Ravelry as well, which obviously comes with all the ads around it. But I'll look through that. I should probably have an ad blocker instead on my browser. But honestly, I kind of feel that if that helps support the artist, I'm fine with that. But given the fact that I'm able to just grab it as a free pattern from her website, she offers that herself, I should maybe pay for the pattern. But right now I'm just happy to do it. And if I like it and I'll make more in the future, I will likely just go ahead and buy the pattern. So we supported a creator and I'm happy, Jay's happy. We're partying. My goodness, people. I can't believe I've been on YouTube for the last 4 years. That's kind of scary, actually. The first year took me quite a while to really get going, but also when you start out, it is, you can see also on my videos, I've improved. Not necessarily saying they're always great, definitely not. But I guess I've got more comfortable, which also helped. And in the first year, I also had a period where I sort of had a bit of traction, and then I traveled away to New Zealand for a month, which kind of killed it all off again. So now we're back with getting up started, and yeah, now we're here. What I really want to do onwards is I really want to spend some more time also doing designs. Let's see, I did 2 stitches in this. So I'd really love to actually do designing myself. I have done a little in the past, but that's something I'd like to do. Maybe have you guys help me test whatever I write down as patterns. Some of them I'd probably also make tutorials for here on YouTube. and then also likely offering the opportunity to grab the pattern as paid versions on my website. That's the thought I have right now. That's like what I would like to kind of explore into. And the first thing I have in mind to actually end up try out is surprisingly enough more knit, which is probably a bit of a long stretch for me. But yeah, I'd like just to get started somewhere. I also have this bag in my mind that I still like to design, which I kind of got stuck at. So I have many things I'd like and want to do. But I also need to keep my boss happy. And generally, everything I've done for my work has proven positive in sense of the revenue has kept increasing and so on until last month. The revenue stopped. And I can always instantly see how I do at work, so to say, due to this. And it was the first time ever that I made less than the year before, or that it's really like less than the predictable, and that feels a bit odd. But I think it's because due to a few things, including the world crisis. So I work in marketing, and the thing is, with the current things going on in the world, people are not buying as much. They are definitely spending less, for the simple reasons as everybody's concerned about what's happening. And to fix that, we will need Iran and Mr. Trump to be friends again. Or maybe not necessarily friends, but they need to not war. Right? Good. Next row, we'll do 3 single crochets and 2 single crochets in 1 stitch for the increase. So I can actually see right now how that directly impacts my work. And I don't know to what extent that will impact. So the side is like what I'm responsible for is not gonna be removed. The only question is if they think that they can find an employee that can do a better job than me. And if they can that, then there is no contract extension next year. I really hope that they want to keep me, because I do like the job and the freedom I have in my job. But if they don't, I need to figure out what to do next. Yeah. Last year, or not, yeah, basically it's a bit more than a year ago when I were unemployed before I got this job. I was being like, oh, but now I have time to start designing and do stuff. But I never got started on it really, because then everything with my mom happened, and that put me on a whole different alert system. And then this job also came along, which was an amazing opportunity for the situation I was in. And I guess that's kind of why a lot of other things got halted. That said, I do really enjoy spending time with you guys. So that's a positive thing, I guess. But yeah, this is tiny. And looking at this, I'd say I have enough yarn. Easy. And the good thing, guys, friends, is maybe we'll have some yarn used. And if we get to there, then that's good for my decrease project. But if we'll get there today, I do not know. We'll see. Because, in this pace, with this small of a crochet hook, It's taking forever, so I have plenty of yarn. Maybe I have more than enough compared to what I thought I would have. And if that's the case, I may option to do the bottom of this rather than the dark one. We'll see. We'll see. Two I need in here. We are, by the way, on row 5, for those who are curious. Then 1. So, ladies and gentlemen, what are you guys working on today? And thank you so much and welcome to this stream. Lin says, congratulations on 4 years. Thank you. I can't believe it's been 4 years already. That's crazy, right? Time flies. I've definitely not been known as a quick growth channel. Nope. I'm growing slowly and steadily. And earlier today, we got a giveaway running, and Jay won it, and she got a gifted pattern from me on Ravelry. And we'll definitely have enough to do another one later. We can do one more. Rev has started on another hat, but he's just doing the increases. Okay. Let's see here. We'll need one more. So we're gonna do 4. Oh my goodness, yarn is fiddly. So the thing I see is I definitely don't need a smaller hook because the yarn would split for me. What did they recommend? 4.5? But a thicker yarn. Oh no, 3.5. Okay, not much of a bit difference. It's probably just my tension. Anyhow, we are chickling on here with row 6. So we have 2 more rows of increases, including this one, and then it is a lot of repeat rows. So I would say I have more than enough yarn to fix this. I am right now not concerned about running out. Probably having more yarn than I thought I needed, which is not a problem. You know, I think once I'm done with this one, the rest of this yarn, I'm just gonna put it into my scrap basket with my Hobbii 88 is not true, with all of my yarns, which is similar yarn weight and size. And as I said, I want to I make a scrap basket of this yarn, like triple strand them or something like that. And we'll make, I don't know, a channel project together, 2, 4, 6. But when the yarns go in that bag of scraps, I'm just gonna pull away the labels and conclude the yarns as used because there are so little left that those yarns are likely not gonna make a full project. If that makes sense. And I don't know when I have enough yarn in that scrap pile to do that. It could also be I make more ammigurumis from them. I have a bunch of these mini ammigurumis books, and I also saw that Sarah Bundio is releasing a new book of mini ammigurumis, and that is coming out in, I don't know if it's end of May or if it's the beginning of June, but in the next month. And I definitely want to grab that up and make a preview as I've done before, so you guys also can get a feeling of it. So that I think is probably what I'm going to be doing when we get there. So I could definitely make some of those mini ones as well. Tiny, tiny, tiny. 2, 3, 4. Revenant is starting on another hat, but just doing the increases. Meanwhile, Lisa says she's working on a knitting a cowl. The pattern is called Mering, but I did a very different yarn substitution. If it works, it works. Rev is currently breakfasting on a Danish. Well, that feels relevant to the flag I have behind there. Just you can see a little bit of, but it is there. That's a Danish flag. I think it's so funny you call those pastries for Danish because I don't think it. I think while the concept of them itself is Danish, I think the method of making the pastry like that is Austrian. In Austria, it's called Wienerbröd. We call them Wienerbröd as well because what you spelled there, Wienerbröd, is very Danish. The O with a dash through is a Danish letter. Actually, my middle name has that letter in it. And that is why my store name is OE, because that's the English way of writing it. Fun fact. Wienerbrød is Danish. That's a Danish word for a Danish. And now I get all... I'd like to get Danish pastry right now. Like, yummy, yummy. But the thing is, I really need to get on a diet. I need to cut on my sugars. I've been really bad lately on eating things that I really should think twice about. Good afternoon. Great to have you with us. I hope you had a great day at the doctor's. The US does not really care what the natives call something. A national nomenclature is irrelevant to what we call things. The Pennsylvania Dutch are of German origin. What? That's so messed up. That is messed up. Genuinely. Really messed up. What did I want to do? What is it called? I'm trying to define. They have many sorts of pastries in Denmark, for sure. And I'm trying to find the one that's like really, which I think is delish. But I'm trying to remember what it's named. This is more like a general photo. Okay. We'll just quickly pop over. I don't remember the name of it. I'm trying to find the name of it, but I know how it looks. This one down here. Oh, that is so yummy. I'd much rather have that one than Spandauer. Spandauer is the ones left and right. Like either it's filled with a pudding or it's filled with a jam. These ones in the middle here is also quite common here in the Netherlands. The back one is a cinnamon bun or cinnamon snail. Delicious. They could also come as more like a bun type a bun type style, but that will be more like a Swedish version of it. But the ones down here is really, really nice. And you need to cut it in two. And then inside there's this remonce, which is like super sweet. And like put a layer of butter on that. Oh, it's delicious. But I've forgotten the name. But now with my mom here, she could probably help me with the name of it. Do 1, 2, 3, 4. I did. Yes, so I need to increase. According to this, apparently, well, okay. I had a short crash. Are we back? I think we're back. A Dutch got angelized to Dutch because of American. Aha. Yeah. I get the confusion also because, Germans are Deutsch, because that's the German word for Germany is Deutschland. So I get some people can get confused about that. And then I happen to be Danish, but I live in the Netherlands where they speak Dutch, which is like, so people are like, sometimes thinking that I'm not necessarily speaking both. Can be a bit confusing. Pennsylvania Dutch are a mix. They have similar ancestry as I do. The German, Polish, Ukrainian, Hungarian. Interesting. This is close enough to what I'm having. Oh my goodness. Oh, that looks good. That looks like a little bit like Spandauer, except we are missing the one on top, the sugar coating on top, the glaze. But looks good. Like really nice for calories. It's great for my sweet tooth, but I say I really need to decrease my sweet tooth because I've been really bad. I've really had way too many sweets lately. Oh, it has glazed drizzle. Okay. That's more like a Spandauer. Spandauer is looking a bit like that. Don't ask me to translate that into English because I would have no idea. Some names just some names should not be translated. Some names can't be translated. Oh, it's so iffy tiny. But I think, my friends, I only have one round of increases left. And look how much yarn I still have. I'll have definitely enough to finish this one up. Hoo hoo. At some stage, we'll just need to do a bunch of rows. And when we get there, I'll probably need to find a row counter or something like that. Anyhow, row complete. And we need one more row because that's row 7, and then row 8 to 17, which is 10 rows afterwards. That is just around and around and around. And I think, looking at the yarns we have used now, that will be a piece of cake, a piece of Danish pastry. A piece of pastry. That is a new phrase officially. It's a piece of pastry, not a piece of cake. It's a piece of Danish. Here I thought that I wouldn't have enough yarn. Now I realize I've plenty. I still kind of wanted to do the I could still do this actually in a because I do have I could because it's embroidered, and I could also just embroider that with plush yarn. I might end up do that if I like that better. We'll have to see how this one turns out. And then, you know, if I decide I want to make it in a soft chenille yarn, then I'll make 2 of them. But I don't have like different colors of pink. I'd probably do tentacles then in white, light blue, and original pink, I think. Also, mine is a bar of pastry, and I just cut a small slice for portion control. Portion control is necessary with those Danish. They're delicious, but not good for you. Lisa could give us a whole history lesson on Pennsylvanian Dutch, but I'll spare you. Okay, thank you. Well, you know, never know, maybe. That was back when people did not look badly at immigrants in the same way as people look today. Today, people look at immigrants and they're instantly sort of racist. My goodness. Here in the city, we are getting a new refugee center actually set up, or immigrant center, refugee center for people that's fled from whichever countries, either Ukraine, but it could also be from the African countries or Arabic countries and regions. And there has been people that's been very vocally against it. But I'm personally being like, I'm neutral. I'm not necessarily saying it's fine, but I'm also not against it. But I'm actively against it. Tend to forget, what if they were in the same situation and they needed a place to flee to and nobody would want them? How would they feel? I think these people are more concerned about crime rates increasing and stuff like that, but honestly, I think if that is your only concern, then I don't think it's good in general. Like, you know, people also get put in a situation sometimes where there are no other options. So I always keep thinking, but if you were in the same situation as the people in need, wouldn't you appreciate that there was a place you could stay? That's how I look at it. There are a lot of negative things with the Amish community that is not widely known, a lot of abuse and neglect, but that is the standard for close religious community. Yeah, valid. Sometimes I also think people are afraid of what they don't know. But of course, when you have these close communities, if they are not willing to tell about how they are put together or work, then people also don't get a chance of understanding them. Then it does get to be closed off. You know, I think the bottom line of people's of people being racist is usually because they don't understand it. It's a fear coming out somehow. One more stitch before the increase. Yeah, I can't crochet this very fast simply because of this being so, like, it goes quicker in chenille yarn. Trust me. Most people only think about the front-facing tourism stuff with them, the quilts and the cooking. Yeah. Lisa says it has to do with close community, yes, but it also has to do with forced under-education and ignorance. Plausible as well. And Ref says those two often go more and more in hand, more often than not. Yeah, that as well. But the only way to get the education is also to be open to learn and to get informations. I think, like, bottom line is if they have problems with their pets, they will use modern medication, or the option is to slaughter their beloved horse. You know, like, I think you can't completely close off a community if you have the opportunity to work with others. But yeah, because I think it limits. We can look back into the world trade, how that's currently going, because Trump is limiting the whole of the Americas with his tariffs, to easier get trade, like, from outside. And I get he's concerned about them having a deficit and all that stuff, but you know, reality is just that it gets more difficult to get a hold of certain goods because of the increase of prices. Lisa says, we have a ton of Mennonites in my area. My town is originally a Mennonite settlement. Oh, I see. Then I definitely understand why you would know a bunch of it. Ref says the horse get better treatment than their daughters most of the time. Yeah, I'm not sure I would have been a happy camper in that society. I'm probably too opinionated. Guess what? We are done with increases. We just need to move down, down, down. Which means that I need 10 rows. I should pick, oh my goodness, a note. Post-it are great. So we are going to do 10 rows and 10 lines for 10 rows of post-its. Awesome. Just going to put it a bit over here. 10 rows. And look how much yarn we still have left. As I said, we have more than enough yarn for this. I could probably make 2. But I'm not sure if I would want to. Because this is the same feeling I had when I was making Mr. Ugly Chicken back there, the darker one of the two. That was also like tight, and yeah, it needs multiple breaks. But then it's good we started today, because if I don't finish today, which I probably don't, then I can do it tomorrow or the other day. And who knows, maybe I get so fiddly on the pattern that I want to do it in a chenille. It's possible. It's possible. So we need to do 10 rows. And we just done the first stitch. So X rows, 10 rows. I know a bunch of families where the only piece of modern tech they have is a dad that has a flip phone, aka no TV, no computer, and not even a microwave. I would be sad without my microwave, but I could survive without my microwave. I usually don't watch much TV on my own. I do that with my partner, which means that sometimes if he's away for the evening for a meeting, I won't necessarily turn on the TV, so I don't miss it. But we do watch things together on the TV. Then the computer, on that matter, I would definitely miss my computer, and I would probably also miss my iPhone. But the TV I could likely survive without. The microwave I could survive without, but I would miss it. Because some things is nice and quick in the microwave. Like if I want to make myself an oatmeal porridge, I would just put it in the microwave rather than boiling it on the stove. But I could also just do that alternatively. So it's not like it's a disaster. It's more like it's a convenience. But I do think cutting off some of the modern technologies sometimes could be a really reliever for many of us, because we can quickly end into the scrolling death or procrastination of things due to devices, basically, right? And we end up scrolling on our devices when we are bored or when we know we may have to do things, but we could also just wait a little because it's not something that we're maybe too keen to do. So it just helps procrastinating things. I think we could all be much more efficient without. I would definitely be able to do things without my devices for sure. More things. They have a word for that stuff. It's faultlish. I'm spelling it the best I can because it's isn't a written language. Faultlish. Yeah, it's faulty, maybe. I think we get distracted easy. And I think that we as people were much better in the old days. Like I can also see it on my parents. I think they're still doing that, by the way. But I noticed when I've been home over the past year, especially also with my mom being sick, it's logic, that my parents didn't really do stuff together as much as they used to. And when I think back 30 years ago, we would play a game or something like that, right? But it had kind of turned into my mom watching a series on her tablet because my mom and my dad wouldn't necessarily have the same interest for what they would want to watch on the television. So my mom would watch the series on the tablet, and my dad would watch whatever he wanted to watch on the telly, both in the same room, like. So I was kind of happy when we did a game of Ludo, and I do believe that they're still more or less, depending on the day, playing a game a day. And I think it's really good for them that they do that together because they spend more time together like that. Like what we used to do. Like back when I was a child, when I was 5 years old, we had 2 TV channels in the whole country. Unless you paid a fortune, maybe. I don't know when the third channel came around, but still, like I remember as a 5-year-old child, I think we had 2 TV channels or something like that. And there was definitely not a movie on the channel every evening. Anything but. So you were kind of depending on having other activities to keep you entertained. So for a fun fact, my dad can knit. Worldly. Yeah. I don't think he's done that for years, and I'm not sure he would have the patience to do it today, which is a completely other story. But the reality is that we did do different things back then, simply um, due to what we had available to entertain us, right? And I think that we have gotten much easier to distract due to the many options of entertainment today compared to what was once was. Rev says, I remember when we got cable TV. Before that, there were 4 national channels on a public broadcast. We used to watch a ton of PBS. Yeah, I can imagine. In Denmark, depending on where you lived, you could sometimes pick up a Swedish channel or a German channel on the network, and people will then do that. You know, back from before the cable. We never had cable. We did have a disc on the roof when we got more advanced, so to say. Then we went with the disc option, or my parents went with the disc, and I remember that. But I also remember the first television I remember. It was a black and white TV, and it had no remote. It had 10 I think 9 or 10 buttons on the display. So it's either like an on and off kind of ish. But the 10 buttons is like how you change the channels on the TV. And due to only having 2 TV channels, we only had either channel 1 or channel 2. Easy. And on one of the channels, every day at 6 p.m., there would be half an hour of children's show, TV show. But on the other sender at the same time, there would be the news. And I would fight with my dad on which sender it would be on sometimes, because he would want to watch the news and I wouldn't want to watch that, of course, because I wanted to watch the kids show. Even though that on the same sender as the kids show is just half an hour, like after that half an hour of kids show, there will also be news. So why couldn't he just wait? I couldn't understand. So sometimes we were like fighting, because if you get the button pushed in, then it would remain on the center. So like you would basically be on top of the fucking TV, pushing in a button and trying to watch the TV at the same time in the fight of what channel it should be on. That is like my child memories of a TV. Can't exactly say it's very romantic. A lot of my humor was shaped by watching British sitcoms at a young age. Valid, valid, valid. Oh, there's some good ones in between though. Lisa says we had 3 channels, but if the weather was just right, we could get a 4th from the States. Ooh-hoo! Rev says we could occasionally get some Canadian stuff. CanCon was wild. Ooh. That would be the same in Denmark, again, based on the weather and what channels you could potentially pick up from abroad, right? But generally, yeah. Oh my goodness. The memories we have. The main Danish channel still has a rule that they don't show advertisements. And TV stations broadcasted in Denmark are not allowed to have adverts in between in a series. So like I remember visiting the States first time, and I was watching, I don't know, whatever crime scene investigation or something like that. And over 10 minutes there was a fucking ad roll. Even less, I think, even every 8. That drove me nuts. That is not something I'm used to. Well, here in the Netherlands, they put an ad roll in somewhere between every 15 to 30 minutes, depending on the channel and whatever we're watching. And they're unfortunately also allowed to do it. But in Denmark, if the sender broadcast from Denmark, it has to be between shows and stuff like that, not during. They have legislations for that, which I think is nice. That was a fun fact. Sharon Loire and Bram's Elephant Show was a fewer dream of a children's show. Sharon Loire and Bram is the stuff I grew up on. Today's special was also wild. And Mr. Dress Up, a Canadian Mr. Rogers. It's all things I've no idea of what is. But that's just because, well, I've not been over there. But I'm sure we have similar things in Denmark where I would be yaddly yaddly and people had no idea what that was. So Friday evening we used to have 1 hour of Disney on TV as well. That was cool. DuckTales. I've seen lots of Disney 1 hour Friday evening at 8. Was also back then when I probably wasn't as busy getting around the world as I have been now. Now I would probably just record it and watch it later. But it's also not the same as what that used to be. That's also much changed a lot. Like by heaps. When Mr. Dress Up died was an unofficial National Day of Mourning. So I did a row and I just totally forgot to set a line. So I'm just putting a line for that previous row. I just cranked on, didn't I? Yeah, I just cranked on. I fixed it half a row late. But guys, I think we should do another giveaway of a nice Ravelry pattern to whoever is a lucky winner. And we'll find something else to type in. We need to have a new keyword, I guess. When Mr. Dress Up died was an official day of national mourning. Oh. I actually consume a lot of CanCon these days between loading, Ready Run, Glenn, Friends, and other YouTube channels. Okay. House elephant. Ah. Definitely sleepy puppy. Looks very relaxed and chill. Nice. But the real question is, what are we to call it? Oh, that was quickly, because that was not the intention. Oopsie doopsie doopsie daisy. Oh, I'm also getting the top chat right now here. Anyhow, I clicked the wrong button because it used the previous round, and I know Amanda isn't here anymore. So I need to go back in and reset. That's how we go. And I did reset, so actually it might work if we just type in Ravelry again. If I'm good, it should just pick it up by typing in Ravelry again. I do apologize, Amanda. If you're still around, don't forget to do your entry. But Ravelry is the word you need to enter if you want to win a pattern from your wishlist on Ravelry. And We'll do like we just did just before. And yep, we will see. We will see who gets in and who gets to be the lucky winner. We'll have a look at the patterns, and I think what we're gonna do is we'll do it similar to what I did with Jay. That we'll have a quick look to see if the patterns is obtainable by purchase, and we'll do a random number generator as well. I like that. Jay says, I already grabbed yarn to start the new pattern I just won earlier. Oh, I'm looking forward, because that is my only request, is that when you finished whatever pattern make that you got gifted from me, please do email me a photo of your finished make, because I'd like to see the end result. And as I said, I really like this concept, because by this we are being genuinely generous as well to a creator out there who spent time and efforts designing stuff. Good, that was another round. Ta-da. If you want to get your entry in, now it is the time. I'm going to give you another minute to do so, and if not, we are going to hit draw. We are going to hit draw. And then what you will have to do is you'll have to email me your wish list or favorite list by email. I can pop in there and I will be able to gift you the pattern. Jay says, I definitely will, but I might have to take a while. I have 2 wedding blankets to make by June that I'm waiting for yarn for. That's all right, don't worry. I have things that takes time as well. It's just I'd like to see once done. Just, I'd like to see how that worked out, right? It doesn't matter if it takes a half a year. It's the thought that matters. Awesome. We have entries here in the giveaway, and I have not yet seen anyone else. I am waiting until the clock here down on my watch says 10 past. Well, it does now, though. It was quick. And this also says 10 past. So I am going to push the choose a winner button. We have 4 entries, which means that one of you 4 will win a pattern from your favorites on Ravelry. And Susan has been lucky. Susan, congratulations. Susan, do be so kind. You have my email address already. Be so kind to send me your wish list from Ravelry, and we will go ahead and get your gift, present, prize. Woohoo! Just let me know when you have sent me the email. Then I'll go and pick it up. And we will go and have a look together, if you wouldn't mind. We can do it here together. See what you have all favorited. And we should be able to confirm that everything is done and dusted. You may search up a pattern, or you can also just, if you want, do like Jay sent me the whole favorite list. Lisa asked me a question. How many members I have on my channel right now? That is a good question. If you hang on, I will give it a look. I got a bunch yesterday thanks to Rev, because he was extremely generous. He has been extremely generous, actually. It's better to say. The current amount of members on my channel is 17. So we can actually also look into emojis. I believe that we can definitely update those. My emojicons. that should definitely be possible. I have room to add one more, technically speaking. We can also remove and add others. But apparently to unlock for more, I will need 2 more members. But that's just temporary, and then it gets locked back down because that's how YouTube works. But we do have, of course, we have our Danish Dutch flag emoji. Then we have my leafy shawl, which is not really that clear. And then, of course, we have my oh shit face when I realized how much yarn I really have. And I mean, genuinely, I have way too much yarn. That was when I did the first sorting, and I got more yarn since. But so far, I think I'm doing good. If we are so genuinely looking on my current stash situation, I could be doing better, but I am not doing as bad as I could, I guess. I could also get more consumed. Right now, it takes a lot of time when you're working on a thing like the Heart Collector Shawl, which I have left to me, because obviously 3,000 meters of yarn just takes time, right? I can't get that done in a month. Well, I could maybe get it done in a month if I did nothing else. Reality is just I do other things. And I like to be able to do other things. I do, though, think that next week it is time to again work on the Heart Collectors. Now it's been laying on its own for a bit. Lynn says you have some amazing yarn cakes. I really do, and I need to make shawls with them, all of them. But now we're just doing something else because of my neighbor's gonna give birth soon. This is just a tiny bit because I have 2 more cakes, right? I'm working into this as well. So we are color controlling insanely much with this absolutely freaking gorgeous. I can't even see what I'm doing on the screen. Heart Collectors. You can really see it fringes out on the sides. Color is a lot darker on the tiny preview up in the corner, and that is intentionally so because else my fingers go completely crazy white. So it is a layer I have on, like a coloring layer. So yeah, and I'm not even done showing all my cakes, Lynn. I have a bunch more laying around. It's just I have a few yarns I need to get through the sorting list first before I get to those cakes. But I have all my plitter cakes as well. We have not even gone through those yet. And we also have my Linda Hobbii cakes. Oh, I get all in cake mode now. Now I want to make shawls. I'm saying shawls would be nice. I was really happy with that Yearling shawl that I made, and I'm kind of feeling a new one would be nice. But I also know how long those takes, which is absolutely fine. I got a receipt for my purchase. Thank you. Feels weird to get that, but Lynn is looking forward to a new Sort My Stash video then. Well, there is definitely a few more coming. They are just, the next one coming isn't having cakes as such. Well, we just had one Monday, didn't we? We did. So I need to record the next one. Haha. That, my friends, is going to be next week. But it's first going to be out the Monday. Not coming Monday, but Monday the following week. And I don't think that's going to have cakes. If I'm looking at where I am in my stash, we are likely going to have a look at my hanks. So some of the yarns that's hand dyed and so on, some gazelle yarns. Oh, freaking gorgeous yarns. And that is probably what we are gonna have a look at next. But I have a place in my stash where I am at, so to say, and it would make most sense if I go through that so I don't forget yarns. That sounds like a luxury problem, doesn't it? But yeah, I definitely have a few more coming. I'm not even halfway through my yarn. And that is scary, I say. Because right now I have about 10 years, right? I think that was what we calculated. 10 years approximately of a yarn consumption in my stash. That is officially in my stash, but I have much more yarn than that. But I'm good for the next 10 years, which means that and I'm hopefully young enough to live at least another 10 years. So right now, based on that, I can buy yarn. But I don't really have the room for it. Well, I could find room, I guess, but I would need to probably offload some or sell or, yeah, find a way. I should not hoard more yarn because it is then what one could deem a problem. It is already sort of a small problem. So, like, even I realized. And it's because it is in a bunch of the yarn is in one of my guest rooms, or were in one of my guest rooms until I needed the guest room. But I didn't need that during a lot of the COVID years, right? So it became a little bit out of mind, out of sight feeling, and it was easier to be so inspired to purchase a bunch to not realize that I definitely wouldn't use it as quickly as I could buy it. Yeah. Susan picked the pattern and sent me an email link. Ooh, this is a good choice. This is a good choice. Susan wants the silver needle tea shawl, and I'm happy to send it. There is just one issue, Susan. Since it's not on your wish list and you didn't link that, I don't know the name of your Ravelry account. So without knowing that, I can't gift it. Example wise, Jay's was Sarah22J. Mine is MyWorldofCrochet, I believe, or something along those lines. Now I'm in doubt. If you want to edit your profile, yeah, MyWorldCrochet, because Off Crochet was gone. But MyWorldCrochet is mine. So what is yours? I need to know yours to be able to gift it. I can gift it to myself, which is awesome, but that doesn't help you. Well, then I buy it and share it, but that's not fair to the artist. I've not made it yet. No. It is on my wish list. Oh wait, maybe it says in library. I did get it actually. Back in December. But it would be more fair to Ines from Red Teapot Atelier if I gifted it to you. But I can do that. Susan added it to her favorites. Awesome. I just need a link to your favorites. But I can also send it via email, whatever you prefer. But it would be more fair to Ines if I do the official gifty way. Lisa says, my local library had an overstock of annual book sales starting yesterday. I got a few related books. Best one I got was Knitting for Dummies. Sounds like a book I could use. Rev says, I have a good branding across all platforms. I had a good branding too, I thought. My World of Crochet was fine on YouTube, but it wasn't fine on other platforms. Well, some of them it were, but not all of them, unfortunately. But it is a gorgeous pattern, and it is on my to-do list. So yeah, I do have it actually. Goody. I got Susan's Ravelry link, so we can go ahead and get it gifted. Sent as a gift. Preview. Yes. Yes. It's thinking. We are good. Continue. Complete. Thinking. If everything is right, Susan, you should have received this one. Congratulations. Lisa says, when you purchase it, you can put in recipient's email. Yep, that is also possible. But what I've done is I'm doing the gifting. Oh yeah, that's true. I could have done that too. I didn't think about that. It's because the first one we did use the user. I just used the username, but I could indeed have put the email as well. Duh. But this one, we know for sure it's connected to Susan's Ravelry account now, so she has a pattern laying there. She could download it at any time. But yeah, that is also one of those I need to make. Have a look at my yarn collection at some stage and get going. Susan confirms she got it. Awesome! That is great news. Meanwhile, we are on round 4 of 10. Looking at the time, yeah, we are probably not finishing this one today, but that's fine because, as I said to you guys, we got started on it, and look how much I still have left. I am definitely gonna have enough yarn here. And I like that we can embroider on the facial expressions and all that stuff too. I think we made a good choice. So we'll just keep cracking it on. But yeah, as I said, I think that was a really, really good choice. Mm-hmm. Then we'll have to give the other stuff a look when we are done. With this to see how much we need of the rest. But Susan says, lol, a 16-page pattern. Goodness, yeah, they are long. They are long. But it's not that bad. Like, she writes very clear instructions. They just seem very overwhelming. But she makes really clear instructions. But I also have the pattern because I bought it in December for myself when she released it. So if there's something you don't understand, Susan, at any time, feel free just to email me. But you can also email Ines Soretti Patatelier. She's generally very good at answering questions if you're in doubt on anything. I had something which I asked her, and that was back when I made, I think, the Jasmine T-shawl. And I got a fine explanation from her. So, easy peasy. Lynn says she missed the beginning. So what am I making? I'm popping over here. I am making this absolutely gorgeous, what should we call it, jellyfish. It is the Niku jellyfish from Crochet Designs. This is a free pattern, but you can also get the same pattern here as a paid pattern on Ravelry. I just optioned for the free version because I like to read through the pattern to get an idea if I know I have enough yarn, because I had all these scraps. Let's say I had a full array of yarns that I knew I definitely had enough. I was like probably just buying it to get through all the non-ads, because there is advertisements here and there. Here on top there is something, but also I do believe that might be her YouTube channel, which is kind of cool. But here's just the general information, and that's kind of what I'm working with. So I'm here on row 8, 9, 10, 11 out of 17 of the head. So that is what I'm making. But I won't finish today because the stream ends in like within the next 30 minutes. And this is so tiny because it's the 3mm hook. It takes for bloody damn forever. I would crochet much faster in chenille yarn because it's less tight, or feels less tight, even though it was with a tighter needle. The chenille yarns I have, I would probably use 4.5mm hook with. So it would also be reasonably large sizer plushie. I'm inclined to do it, but I don't have the right colors for this in the chenille yarns. And I am doing this also because it's going to a newborn. I think cotton is a good idea because that can also be washed in the washing machine. This yarn can be washed at 100 degrees Fahrenheit. The filling is just a classic polyester filling, like polyfill polyester. I got some really cheap stuff. I don't even remember what I paid for it. I got like a kilo of polyester filling for I don't know, 15 euros or something like that. Um, it was below half price than what I would pay for like the small bags. So I have a bunch of filling already upstairs, which I've had upstairs for the last 2.5 years maybe. On my attic, big bag. I got it. I think I even showed it on a yarn talk saying I ordered this and I thought I wouldn't get as much as this, and it's like a huge bag. Huge bag. But yeah, definitely enough for years to come. Or I need to make a lot of ammigurumi suddenly. Definitely also possible. But then they need to be a bit bigger than this if I need to use it up quickly. I also have a bunch of scrap yarns. So I have a bag where I collect all my yarn scraps in. And I'm intending at some stage probably also to make some small ammigurumis, and I'll use those yarn scraps in here. So what I'll then do is I'll line this with polyester, and what's inside I could probably do with my yarn scraps in. Again, to be friendly to the environment, because it's useful for something, right? It's not just garbage. Lisa says I need to check my email. Give me a moment. I'll pop over and check my email. Lisa says I've made it as well. Stina, check your email. I do believe I know you made the shawl. Did you also make the jellyfish? I am checking my email, but no. Yeah. I have no mail from you, Lisa. Got a bunch of spams. I can do those away. But no, I got no mail from you, Lisa. Not sure why. Maybe my Ravelry messages. Okay, that's different. That is different. Yeah, I got messages on Ravelry. Hee. Now we are friends officially. Oh, thank you. Lisa has gifted me a pattern. Thank you. I will show you guys my gift. Give me a moment. Pop over here. It's not very clear here, but I'll pop in here. This is my gift from Lisa. My gift for my Podiversary. Thank you, Lisa. I'm definitely gonna make this one. That is gorgeous. Wow. It's named the Ismara Shawl. That's gorge. I love this. I definitely have yarn somewhere to use for this. Most definitely. It requires 1200 to 1500 meters though, so I will need a bigger cake for it. But I will find yarn somewhere to do it. Optionally, I've sometimes been looking at the Kokonki yarns. They also make special lengths. I also have a voucher for another German artist who makes those individual spun cakes. So I may end up ordering yarn for that specifically when we get to this. Oh, it's gorge. Absolutely gorgeous. Or I'll have to see what I have in my stash because I will need to extend a twister cake with a solid. I could do that. Then I would have enough yarn. That's also a possibility. Thank you so much. I had it favorite already, so you should know that you knew. I think we spoke about it at some stage a while ago. Thank you. I will definitely make that. I just need to figure out what yarn and when. When is, yeah, that's the next question, right? I could use, oh yeah, you could do that too, of course. Lisa says I made it from hand-dyed sock yarn. I also have some of these very thin yarns, like the very thin cottons. I could do that too. Hello, Terry. Terry says happy Podiversary. Congratulations. Thank you so much, Terry. Thank you. I am rather blessed with all of you guys. I'm thinking because we could pop into my Ravelry for a second, for a hot second. But I do have the twisters, and I have enough yarn to extend some of them with in the solids. So that's my thought. I could do that if I wanted to. That could be an option. Or I can combine 2 other cakes. But I'd rather not need to combine 2, like, let's say, Cotton King's Sultan. Though possible. So then the question would be if I were to allow myself to buy a cake, but then I would probably buy more. That would be the issue. Choices, my friends. Choices. It's definitely on my to-do list. I have many shawls on my to-do list. Heart Collectors is the one right now. Meanwhile, Jay already started on the prize she won. She is now on row 4. Congratulations, Jay. I am so happy for you. And meanwhile, we are being shown here the shawl that Lisa made in the hand-dyed sock yarn. It is gorgeous too, actually, in that way. That's definitely also an option. I like this. Comfy couch. Well, that looks good. That's the yarn you had with you back home from Catalonia, Barcelona. Right. Hmm. I need to figure out something. I have options. We have options. Definitely have options. Jay says beautiful colors, Lisa, and I agree. I would never have thought that brown and teal would work that well together. And Lisa verifies to me that it was indeed Spanish yarns. I did remember correct. I'm still so surprised how quickly you can make up these things. I think I do too much things on the side. This is probably the showest craft that I've done in a long while. It feels like Fleur. Except I hope it's not going to take me 2 years to make this. No, it's not. It's just because it's a little hook, tiny stitches, dense. But yeah, I am genuinely looking forward for that. Lisa says, maybe I'm too much of a hermit. You mean you're too much at home doing stuffs? Well, you have a really cold winter there in Canada. Like, no wonder you become a hermit over time. Gee. But we're starting to see the head here. But as I said, oh my goodness, it's taking way longer than my patience would normally allow me. But I will make this pile of scraps clear, being like, once I'm done with this yarn, even though how much I have left on this, for that matter, also, I'm going to clear the labels. I kind of took them all off already, and they go into my scrap pile, considered used, consumed. And then at some stage, I will have enough of these 8/8 scraps, and we'll make a scrap bucket basket together. We'll do that, like dedicate 1 hour a week. Can crochet on it together. We can choose colors together. It's gonna be scrappy. Lisa generally only leaves her house twice a week. Almost sounds like you're a prisoner, but I know you're not. I leave my house more often. Like I've practiced tonight, or training. Last week Friday went amazing. I was super happy. It was probably my best practice ever since just before COVID broke out. So that made me extremely happy. But then I kind of hoped, oh, I stay in this easy peasy, and then I was just like back to shitty normal Tuesday. And now I kind of hope that there's hope for me tonight. That would be nice. I think what's important is that I also need to keep other things in mind on that account. But yeah, I was kind of super happy Friday, and I was like so ready to beat the whole world, realizing that that was probably not the case just yet. That was 4. Rose says, I would say I average leave my house around 1.75 times a week, depending. I like my house. It's cozy and my yarn is here. Lisa says, I'm not a prisoner. I can leave whenever I want. I just usually don't want to, lol. Exactly. Yeah, I get your point. I'm also kind of happy at home, but I mm, I also miss other things. Like there are things in life um that are different. And I guess I got kind of enough of everything with uh, little tendency of skewing, but it's what it is. But I've not yeah, I think with my old job, I kind of easily got stuck at home, and I felt how unhealthy it was for me to be stuck at home. Um, but that, of course, was also because not necessarily because I was at home, but the lack of movement I had because constantly sitting still um, on the phone doing support. And now I can move whenever I want. If I need to use the toilet, I'll leave for the toilet. Of course, I could do that at work as well, but you could risk getting comments if you spend too long time on the toilet. Outside of your break hours. Like it was micromanagement to the tiniest piece. And yeah, I was basically just chained to my computer for 9 hours, 9.5 hours a day, with a half an hour of lunch and of course 2 times 15 minutes break. But during those times, I spent time either getting my lunch and whatnot, and I wouldn't have the time to actually physically go out to get a meal, or just take a nice walk for half an hour, because if my lunch break was half an hour, then there would be no time to eat when I got home. So I moved a lot less than I used to before. That also obviously did not help with my weight gain. So I'm happy I can move more now, and I actually enjoy taking a walk. And I was really good this week because Tuesday evening I walked to the shooting club and I walked back home, which is like 2 kilometers back and forth. So it's like 20 minutes walk. Lisa says, once I get warm here, I have a ton of outside work I do, and I will be at home, but outside most of the time. Yeah, that makes sense, like gardening work and so on. I should clear my garden. Something for the weekend. Lisa has a 2-acre yard to maintain, and she will be putting a vegetable garden again for the first time in 10 years. I think that's a great plan. You need to pre-grow the veggies. I have planted for the first time ever tomatoes. Well, not for the first time ever, since long. Before COVID, I used to do it a bit, and then I didn't do it for a while, and now I decided I am gonna put some tomatoes into the ground. So I did pre-seed them, but I think it's gonna be late because I was kind of late doing it. I should have done it at least a month ago, or a month earlier. But if I would have done that, I think they would have dried out, because that was around the time I was constantly on the go. I could have done it maybe 1 or 2 weeks earlier at best. But they're there, they're growing, and I hope that somebody will give them water when I'm gone, if I go. Lisa, I've tried doing plants from seed in the past, but they don't do well for me. I just buy baby plants. I will have to see if I still have my I'd be inclined to send you some of my tomato seeds, for some very small cherry-alike tomatoes, if you want. But that's too late for this year. If you're gonna plant them out now, you're like, that would be for next year by any means, and you would have to seed them in time. You could probably first, depending on how far north you are, plant them out in like June. unless you have a greenhouse. I do see we have slugs who likes to eat my flowers, which I'm sad about. So anyhow, when this row is complete, I still have another 5 rows. But we're not going to reach it, so we are just going to complete this row, and then it's come to the end. The thing is, we don't have a very long growing season, so I can't plant outside till June 1st, and they often, by mid-September, we are in frost risk. It would work if you, actually, some of these tomatoes I have successfully also grown indoor in the winter. Believe it or not, one were so late germinating that once it finally did, it was like so late and it kind of stunted growth. So we ended up keeping it indoor. And it did yield tomatoes. Not as many as it would have if it had more free reign outside, but it did yield tomatoes as long as you can place it in a window with sun. And it wasn't like insanely big either. It's a long time ago. Not home most of the winter, yeah, but I'm meaning you would maybe be home in October, like if it was a bit late, you could like bring it indoor somehow. I don't know. Else you just need radish. Radish is great, right? It has a short germination time. It's done in 4 weeks. That's what you need. You need radish for your salads. Lots of them. Lots of radish. Problem solved. Look, we are on row 5. We just need 5 more, and then we have the top part of the jellyfishy. Ta-ta! Line. And we still have for the bottoms and tentacles. And we also have a very little yarn for blush and eyes. Easy. That yarn is, by the way, just half the thickness. So we are gonna pop over here and pop back up because it is, my friends, 5 minutes to 5. And I'm not really gonna reach to do another row, I think. Well, maybe, but it's gonna be on the edge. Jay is cracking on. She's already on row 7. I am seeing a photo of that shawl by Sunday by the speed you have right now. It sounds like. Exactly, Jay is flying colors there. Phew! Done. We are gonna put these small scraps of yarn. Yeah, I'm putting them back down in the basket just to keep track of them. As well as the labels. But I think we'll first finish them this weekend, maybe. That's my expectations. Which is fine, because my neighbor haven't given birth yet. Total of 64 rows in it. It says, yep, so you do have a bit of work to go still. But who knows? The thing is, every row we do with these shawls, right, it takes longer and longer. I'm around 800 stitches or so on the Hat Collector shawl in a row. And I'm not even close to, yeah. I don't want to know if I want to keep calculating. I'm keeping track of one. I probably should. I probably should. Crazy. Anyhow, Thank you so much for hanging out with me today. On my Podiversary day. I had a great time. We got 2 patterns gifted away, 2 happy recipients, Jay and Susan. I'm all jelly. And I got a pattern for Lisa. Thank you. A Rev giveaway membership, which got gifted to Jay, which was awesome. And yeah, Podiversary, 4 years. 4 years with you guys. Some of you have first gotten around later, but I'm just happy you're here. Happy I gotten to know you. And yeah, I don't know what to say. It's just been crazy 4 years. Crazy 4 years. Thank you so much for being here, hanging out with me whenever I go live to crochet. And Susan is also saying she's going to start the shawl today. Awesome. I'm looking forward to see the results. And if you ladies wish to do so, we can also share it with the rest once they are completed at some time in a future live. Yeah. Good luck with everything. I'm gonna wish you a great, amazing weekend ahead. I know I'm definitely going to have a wonderful weekend. I hope. And it's gonna be busy. And then hopefully maybe I'll have Nikki finished. And I can show it off before my neighbor goes into labor. I don't know when. It's in this month, so it could be a couple of weeks. It could be a tomorrow. Who knows? Yeah. Thank you so much for watching. Thank you so much for your heart welcome. Congratulations. I think this is worth a repetition for a time in the future, or in a year, maybe even. And yeah, I'm gonna say thank you so much for watching. Thank you so much for supporting. Love you all. Take care and happy crafting. Until I see you either in another video or on my next live. And the plan is I'm going to be around on Monday at 2 p.m. Central European time, unless something gets in the way. And of course, this weekend we have a Decrease My Stash video coming up. I just need to finish the editing of it, and then I can get it uploaded and posted. And of course, yeah, I'll be live Monday, Wednesday, Friday we'll be back on the Yarn Talk. Then we will have also Monday another Sort My Stash video, at least if I do reach to get it recorded this coming week. Take care and happy crafting. Love you all. It was great to spend time with you. Thank you for watching. I do appreciate it so much. So for me, to you, love you all. Bye.